Pros and cons of classical liberalism. Pros of classical liberalism. Pro number 1, competition. With reduced government regulations in classical liberalism comes an increase in the encouragement of self-interest, where producers and consumers work and purchase for what they need and want. As supply and demand contribute to the forces of the invisible hand in a capitalist economy, a theory promoted by economist Adam Smith, competitions increase between businesses in order to obtain more customers. Such competition can encourage reasonable prices, greater variety of products, better quality, and encouragement of certain ideals. Competition creates growth in the economy and contributes to the innovation within society to ensure supply and demand keeps running as different businesses grow in numbers and allow the happiness of both successful businesses and consumers. Pro number 2, individual freedom. Classical liberalism promotes individualism and allows people to do as they wish as long as it follows the given laws. Due to a lack of government involvement, classical liberalism societies often do not have many pressuring and restrictive laws or regulations. People are determined to be rational and capable of making responsible decisions, as declared by philosopher John Locke. Through this, individuals have greater freedom and can engage in many activities without government pressure. Self-autonomy and freedoms such as freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of religion, and freedom of life are all promoted for everyone. Pro number 3, social contract. Within classical liberalism and introduced by John Locke and Thomas Hobbes is a social contract. The social contract is a theoretical agreement between the government and the citizens. In it, people give some of their natural rights to the governing authority in return for the protection of their remaining rights and freedoms. The government's power is held accountable for the will of the people, and in instances where the state does not reflect the people's interests, the people have the right to abolish the government for a new one. This ensures that people's rights and freedoms are ensured and that a totalitarian government does not form. Pro number 4, ownership of private property. Private property allows individuals of non-governmental entities to own land. It is a natural right within this form of ideology and is believed that the protection of private property would stretch to expand its security upon the economy, since companies and businesses are in control by private enterprises. This also gives individuals the upper hand in society, since they can control how to manage their ownership and have a sense of independence. Private property is also regarded to protect the landowner itself, since governments now cannot take any property without a reasonable justification. Pro number 5, democratic government. Classical liberalism promotes democratic governments where citizens have a voice. Through this, governments run on the basis of the interests of the people. This is enforced by periodic votes and independent media and multiple political parties. Votes are conducted by the citizens and let the people choose who they would like to be governed by, as well as a set of policies they are willing the country to implement. This gives greater power to the people and eliminates absolute control of the government on making laws and policies. Pro number 6, rule of law. Rule of law is a very important concept in classical liberalism. The rule of law essentially places everyone as equal under the law. No one, no matter how wealthy, powerful, influential, or persuasive is, they are committed to following the same governing statutes as everyone else. This ensures that individuals under the law cannot justify unfair actions or activities that others are prohibited to, and enforces equality. This also limits the government in what laws and policies they may place, because their power to govern the country does not give them extra flexibility to ignore laws for regular citizens, reducing the chances for corruption. Pro number 7, equality of opportunity. Equality of opportunity allows individuals, no matter their gender, race, religion, values, or beliefs, to be engaged in opportunities they wish. This promotes a level of fairness within the community by ensuring discrimination among others and advocates for diversity among fields of work. Equality of opportunity also encourages people to work hard to potentially change their social status. For example, low-income families have the freedom to attempt to gain an education or start a business if they want, and as long as it follows the laws, they are free to do as they wish and possibly benefit from their fruits of labor. Pro number 8. Individual responsibility. Since classical liberalism encourages individualism, there is a greater value upon individual responsibility among people. This gives people the ability to conduct how they live their lives, what they want to pursue, how they want to pursue it, what they like, and when they want to do a certain activity. In comparison to totalitarian dictatorships, rather than the government giving tasks and being responsible for the organization of people, these people manage their lifestyle themselves and are accountable for their own actions and outcomes, giving advantages on how they wish to spend their time and wealth. Cons of classical liberalism. Con number 1. Exploitation of workers. Business owners in laissez-faire economics have the freedom to exploit the supply and demand of labor, leading to a competitive market where wages are also determined by supply and demand. This can result in low wages for workers, as business owners can take advantage of the little regulations or intervention in the economy and can pay the workers as little as the market allows it. Commonly, if there are many unemployed workers and a few job opportunities, wages will be kept low. This can lead to an increase in the wage gap between the rich businessmen and the working class laborers, creating income inequality. Thus, as Percy Shelley once said, the rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. Con number 2. Social inequality. Although equality of opportunity is prevalent in classical liberalist societies, it does not lead to everyone being happy. Equality of opportunity allows for each individual to be able to engage in activities to improve their lives. Such examples are getting an education, starting a business, moving places. However, by taking the opportunity, an individual is still prone to the risk of failure. Therefore, equality of outcome is not the same. This may harm many who wish to take leaps of faith to improve their standard of living and end up failing with no support or services by their side. This contributes to social inequality as many are stuck in their current position or dropped lower and widens the social gap, which are all common places with this ideology. Con number 3. Environmental concerns. Classical liberalism engages in a capitalist society with minimum regulations in the market. Despite this giving freedom to many businesses in what they can do, many abuse this freedom and engage in environmentally unfriendly activities. Burning of excessive fossil fuels and natural gas promotes climate change and air pollution, harming people and animals' health. Dumping of toxic items downstreams of rivers or in dumpsters can impact the overall surrounding area. Deforestation for the wood industry is common to cause hardships among animals that live within the area. Many of these are not stopped because of many corporations' self-interest neglecting environmental issues caused by them in order to gain more consumers and money. Con number 4. Lack of social safety nets. Classical liberal societies do not consist of safety nets. A safety net refers to a collection of measures, policies, or resources provided by the government to ensure the support and assistance of individuals facing financial, social, medical, and other types of hardships. The lack of safety nets creates vulnerability within people and businesses due to the increase in risk of engagements within the economy and other activities. In a free market economy, competition is encouraged, as businesses must be able to adapt to keep up with the economical shifts and trends occurring in the consumer's demands. This means that some businesses will inevitably fail while others succeed. However, without safety nets, failed businesses can lead to dire consequences for the individuals involved. Employees of the company lose their jobs, investors lose their money, and business owners lose their livelihood. In the end, individuals of unsuccessful companies are left vulnerable and at risk of falling into the cycle that poverty creates. Con number 5. Division in the community and neglect of common goods. With self-interest and individual principles leading classical liberalism, it leaves many people to depend on their own. The individual good is valued over the collective good, and therefore communities do not contribute with one another as well as collective societies do. This may destroy many traditions within the community, as well as end important values such as support for each other, empathy, communication, and a sense of belonging. Furthermore, provision of collective goods such as public education, infrastructure, and healthcare diminish, even though they are necessary for the well-being of society. Con number 6. Monopolies. Since there is a lack of government intervention and regulations in a free market economy, large companies can use their resources to push out smaller businesses out of the competition in a capitalist economy. This can be done by lowering product and service prices to drive other businesses out, by buying them up, or by forming trusts, resulting in less competition. This may negatively impact consumers due to the lack of variety in products and bigger corporations profiting off them by raising product prices as high as they want. Other business owners need to work harder and face greater struggle with these conditions to create a business, as many fail due to the influence of large corporations and the lack of government regulations to keep competition consistent in markets. Con number 7. Inflexibility in economic downturns. Capitalist economies often have little or no control by governments and are therefore at a high probability of unbalance. An example of such results is prominent in the Great Depression, which was a severe economic crisis that happened in the United States, causing high unemployment, business failures, and income reductions. President Herbert Hoover's inability to regulate the economy due to the classical liberal principle of laissez-faire had led to the continuation of self-interest, which increased the income gap and further damaged the society. Furthermore, social issues such as discrimination and income inequality prevented citizens from contributing together to solve these issues, demonstrating the inflexibility within self-run economies and the need for a source of control to manage such crises. Con number 8. High unemployment. Classical liberalism can lead to high unemployment rates because of the lack of regulation or interventions to address market failures, resulting in job loss. For example, business owners can choose to relocate their companies overseas or practice outsourcing where wages are low or job training is not required. This can lead to high unemployment rates in the countries in which these companies originally reside, as they're not hiring anyone from that country. Furthermore, the government does not provide support for those who are unemployed, so it can be difficult for individuals to find a job on their own, inevitably resulting in poverty.